Hello, welcome to ISLA's Fielding Guide. I'm here with Voided and Pro Bro behind me. We're going to show you how to field like an all-star in RBU. So let's get into it. All right. So I want to go over some baseline rules with how this is supposed to be done, how to field, what to do, some basic IQ stuff. But number one rule of fielding is to not dive in the infield. Diving in the infield can cause so many hits in the infield. It's not even funny. I've seen it over 50 in the past 2 days. It's not fun. Don't be diving in the infield. Rule number two: first step is always back. You can always easily get an out by just running up to the ball when it drops. But if you take a first step forward and the ball's behind you, you're letting up a free hit. And finally, rule number three is to use your hotkeys. Your hotkeys basically give you an easy throw. You just have to hit your accuracy. Anyways, that's it with the rules. I'm going to show you all how to play positions. Okay, so first baseman. First baseman, you want to play right on this line of grass right here. See where the grass has an angle? You want to play right on this line. You want to scoot back. I like playing in between. Some people like playing the grass. Some people like to just play right here behind the first base. But playing right here is a very good middle ground because you can always get to the foul balls right over here. And bloops never happen behind you. But yeah, that's it for first base. All right, guys. Now we just covered first base. We're gonna move on to second base. My general rule of thumb for second base positioning is to see this line right here. I always like to use this line on the field. Scoot back, and then see where you can see where the B is at right here. My mouse is at. Moist. Okay, mouse. You're going to scoot to your left until you're basically in line with that B right there, and you're gonna be right where Pro Bro is. So, yeah, that's it for second base. All right, with shortstop, it's basically the same thing. You just got to look for different letters. So same thing. Look at the grass, find your line, shoot back, and then take a step right here. Get yourself in line with you. It's different than second base because you kind of can cover more ground, and third basemen are usually not playing so shifted off to the edge. But yeah, you play right here. Void, my assistant Void here is playing it perfectly. His feet are not in the grass because he's playing on the grass in league. You're get banned. I just want to make that a point already. I kind of talked about it before. But yeah, that's basically it for shortstop. All right, guys, for the third baseman position, it's different from first base. So same thing. You want to look at the line of the grass, see it, find it, scoot back. But for third baseman, you kind of just want to be in the edge of the grass because there's a lot more bloops that happen over here than first base over the third baseman. Also, because the shortstop plays so close to second base to this positioning, you kind of want to be more on bloop shift for this because you can kind of get more back. Also, sometimes there may be a situation where they get a little bloop hit right here. I mean, usually that's the pitcher spot. We'll talk about the pitcher positioning in a second. But yeah, that's basically it for third baseman. All right, guys, for the pitcher positioning, there's kind of very good basic rules. There's a lot of plays that can be made at the pitching spot, surprisingly. The number one pitching spot rule for me is that you kind of want to make sure that anything past this line right here is not your ball. Not your ball. Same thing. I mean, over here, you can go for anything. Oh, okay. Anything over here, you can basically cover it. But for third baseman, and especially pitching position, you always want to be right about here as your cutoff. Because you don't want to be running into your third baseman and the third baseman glitches it right to you. But yeah, you just want to make sure that you're covering much ground as possible. You don't want to let any like those infield hits happen because they're kind of annoying. All right, we're moving on to left field. Left field, here we go. Here's my little assistant pro bro here. He's going to show you the left foot positioning. I'm going to explain to you why I'm having two assistants right here today. All right. So you see where he's at, and you see that he's aligned for my other assistant, Voided. Wave, Voided. Say hi, Voided. Wave to the audience, Voided. There you go. So Voided right here is going to be basically your guideline as a right fielder or left fielder. You're just basically going to be aligned with Voided. So right here, you also don't want to be too far, you don't want to be too close. You want to be right here in the middle. I like seeing this dark square right here. This dark square right here, where it's just like in between the dark and the bright. It's easy right to play. I like to in this corner right here. Sometimes you play deeper, sometimes you play shallower, right? But most of the time, you basically play right here and you'll be fine. All right, guys. So with center field, you basically want to play behind second base. You want to be kind of lined up. It depends. I like to count like 4 squares play on this square right here, and this we have in this middle. That's basically what I gotta do. Center field, you have a lot more ground to cover, so they like to play more back. But yeah, you just kind of just want to make sure you're playing good fielding and keeping it clean. All right, guys. So just like how left field was, right field is basically the same. You want to make sure you're playing evenly across. My assistant pro right here is walking still, and his walking animation. He's waving his walking animation. But you're just gonna play behind him, so you're gonna take a little steps back. Also, again, it depends what stadium you're in. I like to say like right here is a pretty good sweet spot. Obviously, you want to imagine that there's a little circle behind your fielders and fielders, and that's how far they can go for bloops. And you kind of just want to make sure that your circle can go in there too. So basically, you're covering as much ground as you can, pretty well. All right, so just like how infield there's rules, there's also outfield rules. So outfield rules, basically, you want to dive for everything. The reason for this is you can abuse your dive. Your dive basically makes you Superman, all right? So if you can just abuse your dive, you can basically go for everything you want. The only, like, I would say negative about this rule, it's also personal preference, but sometimes you can miss a dive, but you know, I'd rather get an out than let them have a single. So there you go. Another rule for the outfielding is to always throw second unless you need to throw three. Don't be trying to throw first for no reason. You're not going to throw them out. Unless you're in right field and the ball is very shallow, then you have a chance. But just don't throw first until like you really need to. It's either second, third, or home. But yeah, that's basically it for the outfielding rules. All right, so another rule of thumb I like to just give out to new players, because this happens a lot in league, especially for rookies. When you get the ball and you're in the outfield and the runner has a hit, right? You also know the batter has a hit, right? Well, the batter is now trying to go for two. And now you throw the ball into the infield, and then your second baseman or shortstop decides to throw to one, and you give the guy a free base. You get into a pickle, you could say. So, for example, I'm going to have my little helper, Pro run the bases for me, and I'm avoided playing for second, my shortstop. So I'm going to throw the ball, I'm going to get a hit. Oh my God, there's a hit. I have to throw the ball too. So I'm going to throw the ball to second base. And I want him just to, like, run down the runner. Run the runner back. That's all you got to do. Pretty simple. Basically, that's all you got to do. Don't be trying to force any stupid stuff. All right, guys. I hope y'all learned a lot about how to field and how to stop making stupid errors and stop being a random, all right? I hope this helped you out. If you have any, like, questions, don't be afraid to DM me. Obviously, you're probably on the same server of me and whoever video this is. If you're watching it, you'll probably be in the same server as me. Don't be hesitant to reach out, DM me, ask questions, and then yada yada. I would like to also thank my little special helpers, Pro Bro and Voided. And Pro Bro died. With help making this video. I can't do it without them. I love their base running and their fielding. Without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Right here. Also, it kind of just differs on like what stadium you're on. And that ball is a foul ball. Anyways,
Run it back. Run it back.
The wall and in between the wall and second base. And I'm throwing two. All right, guys. I hope you learned a lot.
When are we starting the outro?